Hey everyone, it's time for another Lake O fact check, and this time we are fact checking the head of the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, Lieutenant General Scott Spellmon. Now back in 2019, General Spellmon acknowledged that the environment around Lake Okeechobee is in fact, quote, toxic. But in July, he flip-flopped and appeared before the Transportation and Infrastructure Committee and told me that the personnel, Army personnel in uniform, and civilians under his command are actually not being poisoned.
My question to you is simply this. Given that information and that you acknowledged about a year and a half ago that it is toxic water, would you say that your soldiers and personnel at Port Mayaca are being poisoned?
No, I would not. I would say we're going to follow the...
Are you willing to risk your career on the fact that your soldiers and civilians are not being poisoned?
So we're going to follow the best guidance from the Florida Department of Health and the EPA.
Last week, he was back in Washington and repeated the same lie.
Listen, if the Florida Department of Health said, listen, you're following their guidance, wear a mask and gloves. You said you're following Florida Department of Health. Why do you have to wear a mask and gloves if you're not being poisoned?
I'm sure it has to do with precautions given the conditions that we're forced to work in your state.
Here are the facts. Contrary to his statements, the Environmental Protection Agency is concerned about the inhalation of aerosolized cyanotoxins, which are produced by the toxic conditions on Lake Okeechobee, and have noted that they can travel, in fact, up to 10 miles through the air. Personnel at places like Port Mayaca, as we all know, are well within that radius. In fact, they're the same as if you were leaning over the tub giving one of your kids a bath. They are being poisoned. General Spellmon is denying the science while the well-being of soldiers and civilians hangs in the balance. He is actively engaging in a massive cover-up when it comes to the working conditions for those under his command and trying to play dumb throughout all of it. If General Spellmon won't act to protect those under his command, then he needs to be relieved for cause. And that is a Lake O fact check.